We are live. I'm Lynn Serrano, and this is my partner in crime. It's Cheryl.
Me in crime?
Yeah, it's Sheryl Isenhour. Believe it or not, the one and only.
The Sheryl Eisenhower.
There you go. And she's putting out fires as we talk on the phone. All
Sorry.
right.
It happens. I would say what happens, but you can read between the lines there.
Absolutely. Well, we'll be right back right after this. Welcome back. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. It's so
that follows our topic for today for sure. Okay.
It's so cute. Today we're gonna talk about do you ever disconnect? And there's Cheryl like, oh hi. And she's putting out fires on her phone because she does that. She multitasks very well, I might add.
Let's just say our computers decided to disconnect today. I have one down and in the shop. I have her with one that doesn't have everything she needs on it because you don't plan for that. There will be a set. I mean, I've got that's one that I had. So up till right before this, we were fixing computers and still working with them, as you can tell. She's not used to this one. So disconnected, it ain't happening.
Good morning, Tammy. Thank you for being here. We are talking about do you ever disconnect? And sometimes this world it goes so fast anymore that we have too many tools at our hand, and sometimes we get so distracted by just the white noise in the world.
Well, it's so easy, Lynn. It's like, I mean, she's having problems right now. That's why I was hitting the phone. It's hard not to get back to them. I sometimes look back when we didn't have these little things and how many hours and days it took to get anything done because you had to find a phone to call, to do this, to do that. And so was life easier? Physically, no. Mentally, yes. Is that a good way to put it?
You mean like the fact that you would go try to dial up to AOL and you would like be putting you'd be like cooking something on the stove by the time you come back it'll be connected possibly like
Oh,
back in those days.
do you remember defragging your computer when the little dots ran across your computer and you'd sit there for hours watching the dots go by?
Oh gosh. I've
So,
done that a time or two just to make
uh,
sure it was defragging and
and
where it
I'm
was
sure
at.
there's people out there that we're talking to that's going, and how old are those people?
Oh my gosh, you called it disconnect. I call it vegging out. Yeah, I do it.
I wish I could. I'll tell you, if I need to get my house cleaned up really bad, the best thing I can do is walk in there and lay down on the bed and close my eyes, and both of them will come wide open, and I can get up and do what I need to do. So the body wants to disconnect, but the brain has no let loose. So
Yeah, that's true.
at this
Um,
age, I don't see it happening. Okay.
Hello, Deanna. Nice to see you here. Thanks for being here. Yeah, disconnect could be a lot of things, and the thing is sometimes we only get a chance to disconnect if we're going potty or taking a shower,
I
or
carry my phone with me though.
well, oh, who? Come on, who doesn't take their phone to the potty? Come on, surely we don't disconnect when we go potty because I mean,
Shower's a little harder to do.
yeah, well, I have a friend, Vanessa. She'll talk to me while she's in the shower. She's got it set up somewheres and whatnot, and you can talk. So it sounds like she's in the waterfalls to me. She's like, you're the only one I talk to in the shower. But sometimes it takes, especially moms, they're home with little ones that, you can't disconnect when you want to. So, oh, and there's the beautiful Sandy. Thank you for being here. So, disconnect. And if you ladies want to chime in as far as what disconnect you like to do, or if you get a chance to do. And so what made us think of this topic today, Cheryl?
probably what's been going on the last couple of days. I mean, it's been really bad. Jerry had some really bad flights over this past, well, couple of days. And then technically challenged stuff going on here. I've done nothing but put out fires since Monday morning, and that's not bad. It's just it keeps you on your toes. But yeah, I think that's what it was. I think the thing was I just can't disconnect anymore, and so there it is. And with Jerry traveling as much as he does, it's hard for us to get away on a vacation
Yeah.
because he's not home much anyway. So I work, and I'm not complaining. I enjoy what I do. My main thing is just I do it a lot.
Sandy says, I got to any water source and sit and listen to nature and meditate. That sounds nice. She goes to any water. That sounds nice.
Well,
Really does.
hopefully the summer's coming on. Maybe if the weather ever changes and the backyard, I can go sit out there. That's probably the closest thing to disconnect I've got is getting out there. Like I say, for the lack of travel, I'm like Sandy. I love the beach. I love streams in the mountains. Yeah, water's my getaway too. But the trouble is getting away. So
Yeah, exactly. And it is meditating and yoga and those kinds of things, it's to quiet the mind because we do, even before you go to bed, sometimes we just like right to the phone or right to TV or something, you don't like give yourself that wind down. And I'm back working at the hotel just part-time and just a couple days a week or one day a week. And I'm like, oh man, summer's coming. I gotta take my vacation too. But it's when do you disconnect, I make the time. You have to. Yes, we do have to. And so now, like on the Monday, Tuesday, I've got to work. I mean, I go to bed at 8 o'clock because I got to get up at 5:30, in the morning, and I get up a couple times to let the dogs out at night. So, getting them in a routine, and it is funny because sometimes you don't, you got little furry friends that rely on you too. So you can't just disconnect and like, oh, I'm leaving. Well, who's going to take care of the doggies? Who's going to do this or that? So, which
I
is
saw.
funny. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I was
I
going to say, which is funny because I just started telling the lady that works in the breakfast area. I said, I think for everybody that after their kids grow up, I think we should be able to write off our pets. We got to take them to the doctors.
I've
And
spent about as much.
so I think jokingly, I'm going to start a petition to see how many people. What the heck, right? Petitions are free. You can do them online. So if you see this weird old petition going around, if you want dogs to claim on your taxes, it might be something I might do for the heck of it because I think it'd be funny to do. I mean, what the heck?
Well, I saw this thing online on the internet. Maybe it was on Facebook the other day. They've got this thing that you're supposed to tap. It's supposed to relax you or tap your chest. And I'm thinking,
Yeah.
I tried it. The only thing it did, it's like you look down. It's like, okay, do something, fix it. I mean, when you can't disconnect, when you're trying to disconnect, something's wrong.
Yeah. We, sh- we stress the use of a dreaming room and have one in our facilities here at CVS. He's doing a plug, and then you
Yeah.
have to have a place to dream. Yes, you have a nice little dream room. Is that the room where we watch Ken
Yes.
show? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that is a nice little room. A comfortable couch, hard to get up from. Yeah.
I mean, it's nice. The good thing for him, it's down there. I don't know how much he uses it though, but yeah, it's you do need a space.
Yeah.
Everybody needs a space when they can't pick up and go. You do. Again, probably my space is on the back deck right now. It ain't happening, but it's just everybody needs to have their own corner. I had one lady a long time ago that made one in her closet.
You know what? I've heard people do that, but then I've heard people do the closet thing for like their podcast even.
Really?
just to get the which by the way we already are on podcast. I just don't ask me where. I mean, we have a link to it, but Lynn's in the process of this is a podcast now, and I've got to remember we can't have visuals without explaining what we're showing to people because that ain't going to work too good for our hearing, our listeners. So, but we're pivoting here. We're going with the trends. We're doing everything. So yeah, there's people that do podcasts in their closets. So
Yeah.
yeah, but again, that's not the disconnect. And some people find that just doing shows is helping to disconnect from the world and to share their viewpoints. So I mean,
Everybody's got their own. I mean, everybody has to find their own spot. You do,
yeah,
whether it's a place, a time, um,
or a
whatever,
hobby.
or a hobby. I did all the crocheting and knitting, and my grandmother taught me all that stuff a long time ago. So I did it for years as I came through life. Now at the age I should be retiring and sitting down and doing some of it, it's like I done that. I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm looking for that hobby.
New hobby, yeah.
No,
Yeah. It is funny. Scott's mom, when COVID hit, she started drawing and everything, and she can paint some really cool things. But Scott just recently started painting. He's done some amazing artwork as well. And so, but he never actually did artwork before, and now he's doing it. So it's amazing if you just give your chance to try something, and don't worry if you fail at it. I mean, you don't know till you try. And yeah, it's one of those things where you just don't know.
I broke down a while back and tried to put a puzzle together again. And about halfway through it, it's like, nah, this isn't happening. So we put the
Was it
puzzle.
hard or you just didn't find patience?
It was really weird. It was one that one of Jerry's clients had him a thing made, and then he took a picture of it, and it
Oh,
was such weird. There
pieces.
wasn't no there wasn't any consistency to it, so it was just.
So like the traditional, they've got the locks, like you could see the three, the three prongs or the innies and that kind of thing. Yeah, obviously, no, do I need an innie or an outie? But when they're square or triangle and they don't really connect, it's hard.
Well, these had them, but I have never seen a puzzle cut like that. They were like that. They had the pieces, but usually you've got them set different areas, but so much of it was the same color. Usually, when you're working with a
Mm.
puddle, so you've got hues.
Yeah.
There was no hues into this, and so I got the perimeter, and I got this part and the center, and I got disgusted before I got through the rest of it. So
Yeah. So at Goodwill's, there's this puzzle that has probably been returned to Goodwill many times over.
I don't know if anybody could have put it together. Jerry was supposed to do it to get the thing that he was supposed to get, and I don't think he even put a piece in. And I know he's listening, so
And it's funny because when my dad lived in Puerto Rico and I'd go visit him, I would bring in my suitcase to disconnect and to do something with him. I would bring the Kincaid puzzles, or I'd bring the New York skyline and things like that. And a few times we're there, my dad goes, I don't know why you bring these puzzles, because then he couldn't get no pieces in. And then he'd get pieces in. Oh.
my
But again,
mom used to put them together. That was her thing, and I'd always hide two pieces
no,
so
oh,
I could get to put the last piece in. Okay, so I was not the perfect daughter, but that was probably my disconnect. I don't know that I'd sneak two pieces out or three and put them somewhere till she got it done, and then she would complain about I can't finish it, and I go sneak in there and put them all back in. So
oh man. You
not the
see,
perfect daughter.
no, she see how sneaky she can be.
Get over it. Uh,
Well, this is what again, disconnect can be something that you should find those little getaways. You should find those mini things. I mean, even the little small staycations or just rearranging your area so that you feel like you're in a different place, and have that mindless disconnect where you can enjoy that one space in your house where everything is in its place. You just feel, it's just like back in the day, but at least for my mom, the main living room was for company, right? We had to
Oh
be in
yeah,
the den because you couldn't mess anything up in the living room because anybody came over, you had a place for them to hang out. So, it had to be the China room. So we
that's
weren't
going
allowed.
back really old. But yeah, I
Yeah, yeah.
we
And
had one, and Mom had all these little teeny tiny animals that you had ceramic thingies. And
yeah.
you have to dust those things. I was
Oh,
never so glad when she moved to a house without one.
that was back in the day when they put the clear covers on the cushions too. And then you go sneak in there and like a kid you don't know any better, you go sit on the chair and that made noise. So when you get up, she's like, "What are you doing in there?" Like you didn't have any idea that she could hear the crinkling of you getting on the chair. Anyways,
And we had wood floors that had
yeah.
to be waxed once a year, regardless of whether anybody ever walked on them or not. It was,
There's
oh,
my mind races so much that I can't keep up with everything on social media. Well, you know what? First thing you do yourself for yourself is to tell yourself, hey, it's okay. I either get to it or I don't. Give yourself permission to say, hey, I can only do so much. And one thing that's real important is just don't promise to do as much so that you don't disappoint yourself or others. That's my suggestion for today. And yours, Cheryl, before we leave?
I agree. I mean, if you saw my desk, you'd understand what I'm talking about. We all take on a lot more than we can do a lot of times. And I've got a girl that helps me, and we're both busy. Right now, it's just that time of year. So once another couple weeks, and things should smooth out a little bit. We're in the beginning of our busy season, so yeah, just do what you can do. It's kind of like I told Lori today. Get what you can get done with what you've got, and we'll worry about it when you get your computer back. That's all we
Yeah.
can do. We can't make things happen.
Well, and again, I think those are blessings in disguise because then you are getting things done that were neglected before. Except it's like when the power goes out, right? Oh, but let me turn on the dishwasher. Oh wait, I want to cook something in the microwave. Oh wait, I want to wash clothes. And you're like, no, you have to reconfigure the things that you can't do, and compensate. But it is funny how we normally would revert that way. So
And the bad part, you probably wouldn't have done that if the power would have been on.
exactly, exactly. So, that's your plan B for the day, so to speak. So,
But yeah,
uh,
everybody just take care of yourself, because I'm going to tell you, you've got one life to live, and
yeah,
plan some time for yourself.
yeah, that's really important. All right, Cheryl, till next Wednesday, have a happy hump day, and we'll see you next week.
See
Bye.